Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom.
Whoa, that was a little different.
Brought you the holiday version. That's right. I'm not playing around.
I like that. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Tom, except for the fact that we planned to have a beautiful day on the beach so I could be out doing the beach thing with this, and it was going to be like our celebration. But alas, the weather has not cooperated. I'm doing more of a Jim Cantori Weather Channel thing now, and I'm in lovely Bethany, Delaware. If you look up, you can see that there's some people doing boot camp early in the morning. And if you look this way, you can see that people not crowded on the beach yet. Not sure it's going to get crowded on the beach, but hey, you know what? A rainy day at the beach beats a regular day at home any day. And I'll move a little closer. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm going to get closer so you can hear the waves lapping in the background. That's right, Tom, waves lapping.
You know, honestly, I think you're auditioning for a spot on the Weather Channel. You got your Columbia gear. That's their logo. That's their sponsor. And you're showing everybody the vision. So I think you're auditioning for that. Well done.
I'm good for that. If they want to pay me what they pay them, I'm in. You know, I think I could stand like this in a storm and be leaned over and pelted by rain. You know, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder if I'm looking for the fan that's blowing the rain and they're like, got the green screen behind them and this is how horrible it is. And they're back in some station where they are just being, shown rain.
Doused with water.
Correct.
From a hose.
Well, anyhow, we're glad to have you from the beach. This is today's Antidote, our daily podcast, where we talk about a topic. And then at the end of that topic, we provide our antidote. The one thing that we help people will help people move forward along their own unique pathway to success.
Yes.
So one of the
I'm on TV. Yes. Sorry.
You almost got not photo bombed, but camera bombed. I like it.
No, they were just trying to figure out what was going on, and I figured it was the easiest to tell them I was on TV. Sure.
You should have told them there's a big storm coming, and you're here kind of doing some prep work for the Weather Channel.
That would be funny. All right, next time.
That would be funny. Anyhow, so what we always start the show out with, besides our witty banter, is celebration. What day are we celebrating, or what are we celebrating as our national day today, Bob?
Hey, Tom, we're going to celebrate the age-old Labor Day, which began in 1894. Grover Cleveland made it Labor Day. There were big strikes. There was a whole bunch going on. And ever since, we have recognized the first Monday in September as a national holiday to honor just all the people that work. And I think it's a really important day because sometimes we don't realize how much our work affects other people. And I was thinking about that driving over to the beach this morning, that my work affects lots of people, your work, and everyone else's work. And I like to just take a little time on Labor Day and think about all the people whose work makes it possible for me to do the things I do. From the person who delivers the gasoline to the gas station so that I can have gasoline in my car, to the person who stocks the shelf at the local store so that there's toilet paper for me when I get there. You know, all those things that we just take for granted, I like to think about on Labor Day.
I like that. Well, when you think about it, you're celebrating all the people who work. It's all of us. And everyone in their job impacts someone. Even the person who's leading the boot camp down the beach, their work impacts all of those people who are trying to stay healthy before they go out and celebrate Labor Day with hamburgers and hot dogs and beer and other beverages.
And their drive back to their homes along the East Coast.
Correct. That's true. where they sit in the car with all the other traffic trying to go home.
Yes.
So that is a good day to celebrate. I like that. And it's a great that we are celebrating because we've been celebrating all summer. And our topic for today is a little bit of, it's a celebration of our summer of celebration. Sounds odd. And yet.
And Tom, why don't you, because we have some people who are new because of the podcast, they probably weren't with us when we started the summer of celebration. So can you give us the thumbnail sketch about what that's been?
Sure. So for those who don't know, went back at the start of the summer, I think it was Memorial Day. We decided that obviously the country and all of us had been through a challenging year, a little over a year at that point. And, you know, it would be easy to look at things and talk about all the challenges that people have faced. And yes, that's important to understand and to share. And at the same time, we thought it's the summer. At that time, the pandemic seemed to be, the numbers were going down. Sadly, that's not still the case. And we thought this would be a great time to find ways to celebrate. Just like we do every day on the show, it's great for people to find something to celebrate. And so every day we challenged people to share what they were celebrating that day. Didn't have to be, you know, that you got a new job or that you got married or that you closed.
Did I lose you, Tom? I think I lost Tom, so it looks like me doing it alone. I know Tom was talking about celebrating and the idea that we're celebrating just anything. It could be celebrating a nice, great dip of ice cream. It could be celebrating the fact that there's beautiful birds outside your house. It doesn't matter. It could be work stuff. It could be celebrating a big contract, a big opportunity, that you got something done that you'd been struggling with for a while. And our goal with that whole summer of celebration, you back, Tom?
I am back. Sorry.
Funny, I'm the guy out in the middle of nowhere on the beach getting pelted by rain, and you've got the technology challenges.
Sometimes that happens.
Usually it's Jim Cantori who has the trouble.
I know.
Because he has a good excuse.
We need a bigger sponsors to pay for better hardline technology.
Something like that. And just as luck would have it, it's now begun to rain again. Did I lose you again, Tom?
Okay.
You keep coming in and out.
Well, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Keep
so
going.
I was telling them about the summer. I was telling them about the summer celebration and how we were doing big things, little things, whatever it would be. And the goal of the celebration was to help everyone realize that there's more to celebrate than we often realize. We tend, I know for me, I get bogged down in the negative things that go on when things don't work out the way I planned or the way I hoped. I get frustrated and annoyed, and I start to get irritable. Those things go away when you find at least one thing a day to celebrate. And I know I didn't always post something every day. I wasn't as dedicated to that as I had hoped, but I certainly thought every day about something to celebrate. You know, like today I'm celebrating the fact that I'm at a beautiful place. I love being by the ocean. I love the sound of the ocean, and I'm actually at the ocean. And we'll be here for a couple months, so I'm celebrating that. What are you celebrating today, Tom?
Sure. I'm going to celebrate that I had a great weekend in Florida. Got a chance to officiate some international lacrosse, which was fun. It's fun when you hear teams cheering for another national anthem, teams cheering in another language, talking to one another in another language. You know, people who, you know, we see kids have so many opportunities to play lacrosse. I was officiating lacrosse in the States. And yet there are less opportunities in other countries. And this was countries from mostly Pan America. And it was, and a little bit of South America. So it was great to see them have the opportunity to participate. And what was best was, like, always at the end of the game, especially as we got closer to the end of the weekend, they just wanted to take pictures with each other, you know, so they played hard against one another. And then, you know, I think there's something about that international competition that wants them to get together and celebrate the fact that they had a chance to compete, to do something they loved. and to move forward, no matter who won or who lost. And then they'd stand around and talk. And so I think that was just a really cool environment to be in. And
There's also, Tom, you didn't say this, but it was women's lacrosse, right? And I
correct.
think that's not as popularized in the U.S. or anywhere else as men's lacrosse. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, there would be some arguments about which is more popular in the United States, but that's a debate for another day.
Well, I think when people think of lacrosse, they think of men's lacrosse.
Like,
they think about it all. Yeah,
correct. Even though there are probably more participants at women's.
Yes, and I think women's lacrosse is very, very, very intense in its world. I have a niece who plays at a high level in college, and it's serious stuff.
They take it, and what was fun was they were playing what they call the sixes. So you only had 6 players on a team on the field at a time, and this is what they are hoping to do for the Olympics.
Sorry, someone else watching.
That's all right. They think you're a famous person. They're trying to figure out who. So little do they know that you are the co-founder of the Ring of Renegades and the Renegade Success Network. That's right. What was cool, though,
maybe if I say RSN. Yeah, I'm live with RSN.
That's right.
Okay.
Or you should have your polo shirt on. Then they would be like, "Oh wow, what's that?"
Well,
that's cool.
if it weren't cold and rainy, I might, Tom.
Okay. So the final cool thing about that was that it is a game they are going to try to introduce in the Olympics when the Olympics come to the United States in I think 8 years or 4 years. Not the next.
2024, right?
I think so, but it might not be. It might be 2028, or I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Anyhow, so that was fun. It was a great weekend. It was hot, as you could tell. I got a lot of sun. It's very different running in Florida than running in Maryland, but it was great. It was a lot of fun, and it was a good time. So one of the things I think about the things we like to do with people is after you do something like the summer celebration, it's great to go back and review it and understand kind of how it went so that you can figure out, what did you take away from it and what might you do differently? And so you can move forward again along our path. And I think that was part of our goal, was to help people figure out how to keep moving forward through the summer as they prepared for, now that Labor Day is over and more kids are back at school, more people are going back to offices, figure out how are they going to have a strong end of the year. So one of the things we like to do is ask those 3 big questions. So Bob, I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
What went well for you during the summer of celebration?
I really had to think each day about something to celebrate, which was a great exercise. It really got me into a mindset of being grateful and of appreciating some of the smaller things that I usually gloss over in my mind. So it was really interesting. A couple of days ago, I had a really good dip of ice cream, and I can't eat dairy. So this was a dairy-free dip of ice cream, which was a big, big, big deal.
Nice.
And so I celebrated that. And I don't know that I would have taken the time to celebrate that had we not been doing this all summer. And there were some business things that I celebrated, some big things that came along that I was really celebrating. There were some smaller things. How about you?
Yeah, I think that would be the same for me, is that there were things that I think that I found some things that were larger, that would be considered larger or more important to celebrate. But I think, like you, I also enjoyed the fact that there were small things that I could look for each day, and one of the things that came out of this, one of the things that I think really went well is we had a member of our Ring of Renegades actually look back at one of the months, and rather than look at it in a negative way, they looked at it as, hey, yes, all these things that didn't go the way I'd hoped happened. And yet they were able to still find and identify 15 or 20 things that went well, that they could celebrate. And I think that's, to me, if there was one thing that I thought went really well, is that people started to consider how the small things, or things that we might consider small, they could really celebrate and it might completely turn around the way they view their day, their week, or their month. So I think that was the thing for me. What for you didn't go as planned?
I made a commitment at the beginning to do it every day, and I'm going to bet I did maybe 45 of the days actually posting something. I thought about it every day. I came up with something every day, but I wasn't as good at posting it as I had hoped.
Okay. And I would offer that I have two. One was, they're probably more than this, but one was that my plan was to post an image every day so that it would be sort of leading or giving people a place to share their celebrations. And I was probably about 90% good on it. And there will be one today. The other thing was we didn't get people to share it as much as I thought we might. I thought that there might be more celebrations inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group where people would do that. And, one of the things that I've found is things that I have done may impact people, but I never know about it. And so while they didn't necessarily share the post, I'm hopeful that they thought about it and considered it, like you and I sometimes, as we didn't post it, and we were considering and thinking about what our celebration was for the day. And so I think that was, that might have been something that went well that I didn't plan.
Yeah. RSN. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Bob, we're on TV. No, that's all right. I love the fact that that people are noticing you. Maybe we should do this every day so we can get a little broader. The people will be like, what is this? And you can tell them, this is today's Antidote podcast and
I'd
Facebook
have to get
Live.
a sign. And
You need and a camera person.
then I'd have to have like the coffee person of the day and all that. It gets complicated, Tom.
Yeah, I understand. So the final question is, what didn't go as planned?
I thought we just answered that.
I'm sorry.
No, we didn't.
We did. What would you do differently?
Yeah, I was gonna say hello. I'm trying to keep track. I think I would come up next summer with a way to make this more in people's face. I might record a video and send it to people. I don't know. We promoted it, but I don't think we promoted it as much as we could have.
That's fair. That's fair. I would agree. I think there are other things that we could have done an advertisement in the Facebook group. And the other thing I think about personally is I could have either at the start of every week or at the start of this whole thing just created an image for every day and set them up to post so that I didn't have to think about it every morning. It would just happen on its own. And I think that's something that that for me is helpful as I think about other things that will come down the line. Is I'm always hesitant to do that because I worry. We recorded Friday's show and we were able to set it up so it would run on its own. But I worried all Friday morning, like, did the show go off? Did it happen? Were people able to view it? And so I think that gaining more comfort with the automation that can happen is something that I would do differently.
So Tom, I see two themes here right now. One, the whole idea of making our labor more efficient and more successful going forward. It's gone through this whole 3 questions. The other thing is just that you and I try to go back and look at everything we do and try to figure out ways to improve it going forward. And that's what leads us to almost every next thing that we do. And usually these discussions, and we have these discussions, seems like 2-3 times a week on things.
Absolutely.
Are really what fuel our growth and our opportunities. If someone says to us, wow, it's amazing, you knew that this was coming, how do you know it? It's because we do this analysis of what we're doing, this evaluation, and we're open and honest about what is going on. I mean, you didn't hear us hold back. We didn't say, oh, it was the greatest summer celebration ever, it was an award-winning thing, wow, it should be a national celebration. We didn't do that because that doesn't help us move forward. And I think in the whole idea of summer celebration, getting to show people what we do at the end of anything we do is probably as valuable as anything else, because I find a lot of people just don't evaluate what they do. They don't
Right.
understand that evaluation and being brutally honest with themselves. Hey, you know what? I didn't show up for that presentation the way I should have. Hey, you know what? I didn't do that sales call the way I should have. I was distracted by whatever. Those are some of the things, because if you say, oh, I was distracted during that sales call, well, what distracted you? Well, my dog was barking. Okay, well, for the next sales call, you need to find a place to put your dog so it's not barking at you the whole time. That simple shift, those little things make huge improvements, huge growth, and huge opportunities. That's what's fueled all the growth for you and me, is we can step back and look at what we're doing and say, yeah, that wasn't quite exactly what I wanted to do. It was a little off. It was closer to what I wanted. And as we say, you know, we're all chasing perfection, but we're never going to get there. And I think one way to recognize that and move towards perfection is to actually be honest with ourselves about what is or isn't going on.
I would agree. I think the other thing about it is, I think people do evaluate their actions. They just evaluate them in a very simple, it was great, or, oh my God, that was so bad. You know, it's a judgment rather than an evaluation. And they get stuck in that judgment. You know, if this had gone amazing and all we had done is thought about like, oh my God, it was just fantastic. And all these people posted and this was great. And we could have lived in that celebration part of success.
It's getting crowded now, Tom.
Big party coming down, celebrate Labor Day. Or they could have got stuck in that. We could have got stuck in the, oh my God, I didn't do it every day. People were probably that. Maybe that's why people didn't stick with it. And I think that while that has an immediate evaluation, it's not a longer term evaluation that'll help you move forward. Continue to take your next steps.
Sorry, I'm trying to move away.
That's okay.
I'm being watched closely now by a whole family.
You're gonna become a very popular guy on that beach. I like
it. till the police officer comes over and says, "So you need a permit for that?"
Yeah, right. There you go. So, Bob, why don't we start to wrap this up? What is your one thing about the summer of celebration?
I think the one thing for me is that I need to take time to celebrate every single day, something, big or small. Just like today, I'm celebrating the fact that I am at the beach on Labor Day and I don't have to be back home at work tomorrow. I can work down here after Labor Day. That's cause for celebration. That is a huge step forward towards my overall goals.
Great.
How about you?
I think I'm going to go back to how we measure and evaluate things, because I think that so often we don't take the time, you know, and even if we take the time for like a big event, okay, that's one thing. There are opportunities to evaluate every day and to think about what went well, what didn't go as planned, and what might I do differently. And that can set you up for the next day. And I think so often we don't think about doing that daily in a way to better understand where we're at. You know, we might look at, oh, we had a big event. We had a big sale in the store. Our team put on a program. We did a sales launch. And there's a, you know, people think, okay, well, I'm going to measure that. I'm going to evaluate that. I think the more we step back and evaluate those small steps we take, they usually find out they end up becoming bigger steps and helping us move further along.
RSN. Yes. Live. Uh-huh. Yeah.
You are getting popular. Yeah. So with that, I think it's time for us to wrap up our show. Bob, you should tell all those people out there they can check it out by going to the podcast.
I will do that.
Or go to the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, because those are the two places you can catch this daily. Thanks for joining us today. If you want to catch the podcast, just go to any of your local, where you get any of your other podcasts, and you can find today's Antidote. We hope that you will subscribe or like or comment or give feedback, and also
all three,
share.
All four.
Or do all of them.
One of those. You
Correct.
can rate us, you can subscribe, you can share it with others. We will allow you to do all three.
Excellent. I like that. And if you would like to join our Facebook Live, you can go to the Ring of Renegades. Join our Facebook group. It's easy to do. Just go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades. And you do have to ask because it's a private group, because we're creating a community of people who want to measure and evaluate all they do, who want to celebrate everything they do from large to small. So you just have to ask to join and then tell us why you're a renegade. And you can become a part of our growing community. So with that, I think we will wrap up today's edition. You're going to want to stay tuned because we are going to dive back in as we start. We close out the summer and start our September topic, which is going to be being a renegade. So we're going to have conversations around that, which for those of you who are new to the show, or those who aren't quite certain what's going on, we're going to have a conversation all month about what it's like to be a renegade and how that will help you find your next step along your own unique pathway to success. So we hope we'll see you inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group, or we'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time, for our next edition of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Embrace the renegading you. And I say that from the beach, where I'm truly a renegade because more and more people are watching me.
I like it. Are you feeling nervous about that?
A little, yeah.
A little self-conscious?
Yeah, now I got to walk back to my car and sign autographs and all that. Oh, can you see the boot campers? They're getting serious. They're running.
Oh, running in the beach. Gotta love it.
That's where I'm headed right now.
Everybody enjoy your Labor Day. Enjoy your Labor Day, and we will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.